Hi, I'm Andrew, and in this short clip I'll just go through what I'll be taking with me on a 2-month tour through the mountains of Italy, France, a bit of Switzerland and a little bit of Austria. It's a light setup that I'll be going with, not ultralight, so you'll see quite a few luxuries in this setup, and that's on purpose because I do still want to enjoy the trip, but I will be relying on the fact that there will always be accommodation or a food source or a bike shop nearby, so I can always go in if something goes wrong. So starting from this end here first, if something does go wrong with the bike, just the usuals, I've got one tube and some zero instant patches if I need more than one before I get to a bike shop to replace the tube. Tyre levers, of course, after chain brakes. Got a chain breaker and a quick link, really easy to use and actually quite light. Have a multi-tool, obviously. Contrary to what you see on the internet, I've found that this is actually lighter and a lot more compact and a lot easier to use than having individual Allen keys. Got some zip ties. You can never have too many of those and they can solve a lot of issues. A little spoke key. I've just got stock wheels on my bike, and with the additional small weight, just have to make sure that they're remaining quite true throughout. Pump, obviously, this is a Topec pump and quite enjoy it just because it's got flexible hose which you can put onto the valves, so most of them I've seen don't actually do that and just make it a lot harder to pump up a wheel. So I've got that, and just some dry lube and a cloth, of course. Been needing to oil the chain quite a bit throughout. Design macro drive lights, which gives out a really good light, and the battery lasts quite well as well, considering how big it is, and just a rear light as well. So that's kind of my tools I'll be taking with me. Got a Garmin 810 to record the route that I've done each day, and also so I don't get lost along the way. Really good navigation from that. Bike lock, which is a bit heftier than what a lot of people take with them, but my bike is my transportation, so I prefer to take a little bit extra precautions. Another precaution I'm taking is, as I'm going by myself, I'm taking a spot with me. Although I'm not going off the beaten track at all, it's just a nice safety to have, where I can just push a button to send out an SOS message, and I think it also helps those at home understand just whereabouts I am or how I'm going through the trip as well. Also taking with me just a small backpack. This is a Cedar Summit Ultra Silver packable backpack. So this is just for either if I'm going to a supermarket to do some shopping or going sightseeing or anything, I can just take that with me. Packs up nice and small and is really light. Chapstick. Always get chapped lips when I go. One of my insecurities, I suppose, is that I don't want to get sick. I've been on a tour before and gotten sick, and it not only does it just interrupt everything, but it also saps your strength quite a bit for a few days. So try real hard for this one, just to maintain my health. So hand sanitizer, which I'll be using. I've got a spork here and just a small knife. They're just there to make sure that I don't have to commit to either restaurants or fast food places. I'll be able to go into a restaurant, hopefully have baguettes or things like that for lunch. On the bike itself, what I'll be wearing, so I've got a Lamar helmet, had it for a year or two, and it's just really comfortable, quite light, quite like it. Something new, recently new. These are Gyro Republic shoes. I've gone away from road bike shoes. These are more commuting shoes, but the soles on them are still quite stiff, and with the raised sole on it as well in the SPD, you can actually walk around quite comfortably in them, so I can go into supermarkets without having to worry about slipping over or anything like that. Just got some lightweight Castelli bibs and top for on the bike. Taking with me a little part of New Zealand in my socks, so I don't forget where I came from, and obviously to show off a little bit. I'm quite proud from where I come. Got some, when it gets cold, got some winter gloves, windproof gloves, arm warmers and leg warmers as well. One of my concerns I have not gone into the mountains like these before is just how cold it will get at the top of them, particularly going into October. We'll see how it goes, but that should be plenty to get me down to sort of 13 to 10 degrees, no problem. If it gets any colder, I've got Mavic vest and a Mavic rain jacket as well. Haven't had them long, but I found them really good because of the off-center zip. You don't really notice, I don't think, until you actually have an off-center zip, just how such a small detail can actually make your life a lot nicer. I'll be having a heart rate monitor on me throughout as well, and that's just so I don't overcook myself along the way. I can just monitor and make sure my heart's at a reasonable level. If it's raining, I've got this halo, which I quite like the halo product, with a little peak on it as well to keep the rain off my face, which is a little bugbear that I have, and skull cap as well, just when it gets a bit too cold. So that's all on the bike and bike stuff. This part here is when the luxuries really start to come out. Off the bike clothing, just got a lightweight pair of zip-off pants, so I can wear them as trousers or shorts, obviously. I've got a just lightweight merino hoodie as well to wear, 2 lightweight merino t-shirts, 2 merino pairs of undies, and a pair of merino socks. I've gone with merino because it's just a nice product, feels nice, and also, more importantly, it lasts a lot longer before you need to actually wash it. On my feet I've got just a pair of jandals, which, or thongs or flip-flops, depending on where else in the world you're from. The ablutions part of it, just got a small travel toothbrush and toothpaste, deodorant, and a bar of soap. Bar of soap's just easier than carrying liquid soap because it's lighter. This can go wrong if it spills. For the washing, I'll be washing my riding clothes every day, and I've got some laundry liquid here. It's just nicer than the soap. I've tried it with soap and it just doesn't feel as nice the next morning if you use that. Also, to make sure that they get dry as best they can, I've just got a little clothesline that folds away. Cedar Summit again, just nice and small and light, but it just makes drying a lot easier. Also, to make the drying easier is a microfiber towel, so you just wring the clothes through on that and it gets a lot of the moisture out. Also used as a towel, obviously. Just a plastic ship, I think, shaver for along the way. I've got some Gurney Goo chamois cream. This is good because it not only does chafing, but it also does things like a barrier for your feet. If it's a really rainy day, you can put that on and it protects your feet from the wet a bit. But also does other medicinal bits and pieces as well, so multi-use product. And that's it for the ablutions. Lastly, is all the electronics really, and so I really want to make sure that I can remember this trip for years to come, so I'd like to record it as I go. So to do that, we've got the Garmin Verb, which takes video and pictures as well, and also links into the data from the bike and your heart rate and the Garmin, etc. So that's quite a good product, I think. And be using it's just a HP 8-inch tab along the way as well. It's just easier to use, I find, than just using a smartphone to connect with the internet and to Skype back home and bits and pieces. To charge everything along the way is just this Corjo 4 USB PowerPoint hub. It's quite a handy wee product. You just change the PowerPoint for whichever country you're going. You can charge 4 things at once, obviously, as well. Quite often I've found when travelling is that you might have one spare PowerPoint, but obviously if you've got multiple things to charge, you have to either wait for other people to finish or whatever, so hopefully in this instance I won't have to worry about that. Got 4 charging cords obviously, so I can charge up the different things, and headphones so I can Skype or listen to music on those tough days. To help with taking the pictures and the video, I've got just a small tripod, a helmet mount for the camera, a selfie stick of course as well, and a bike mount so I can mount the camera on the bike itself. So that's it for what I'm taking. What I'm taking it in will be some Apidura bags. So these are actually, I've had other brands before, and I've also had homemade ones as well. Just really pleased with these, just with the the quality of the material. So the Velcro seems really good, and the zips seem really good, and they do hold out quite a bit of moisture. It has to be pretty teeming before the moisture starts getting in, but they just seem like really good quality product. So that's the top 2 bag, which I'll put just the ready use stuff in it. I've also got a handlebar bag. This is the compact one. Really handy again because you can just roll down each end to fit in between the drop bars. So I'll be putting the stuff I don't really need to access that often, if at all, in this one. And then the underset bag as well. With this setup here, I'd be lucky if I use 2/3 of the volume of this. It's a really big bag, which is really handy. The material on them is really waterproof, but not 100% because of the seams, etc. So just got some Ultrasil Cedar Summit bags, which are just really light and will keep everything dry as I go. Lastly, onto the bike. So the bike is just a stock standard Cannondale Synapse 5. It's a couple of years old. It is carbon frame, but I'm not carrying much, so shouldn't be an issue. It is stock, except for the only things I've really changed on it is the tyres. So the tyres are the Grand Prix 4000 S2s, 25mm tyres, so a little bit more compliance there. The saddle is Brooks C17 saddle. So I've used Brooks before, and the leather saddles are just the most comfortable things I think for touring. This is a synthetic one though, so the issues around not being able to get your leather saddle wet are not an issue anymore with a synthetic one. It's not quite as comfortable as the leather ones, but it's pretty close. Also on this I've changed, the bike originally came with compact up front and 12 to 25 cassette at the back. Because I will be going up some fairly big hills along the way, I've come down to 11 to 32 at the back and had to change out to the mid-length rear derailleur as well. And that's it. So what I'll do now is pack it all up and show you what it looks like on the bike. And so the rest of it I'll be wearing. The bike and the kit that I'll be taking in this configuration weighs just over 15 kilograms. Hopefully that there will be light enough to enable me to get to the top of these hills that I'm trying to get to. It should be. If you'd like to follow, just to make sure, if you log on world@mywheels.blogspot.com. Thanks.